Hello and welcome for this first call on how to become money workbook. I am Mélanie Sevin and I am your host for this trip. And this workbook is based on Gary Douglas' book called How to Become Money. It's a magnificent tool to change all your reality with money. And the invitation for these calls, in 10 calls, is to check what is sticking, blocking with you. It's not really what's blocking with the money, but with you, to be all of you. And the magic of this book is to be an invitation to put down your barriers, and to be everything what you can be that you allow yourself. So, my invitation is to read the book, to do the questions. We will do also some questions together, and then come back to me with your questions, what happens in the next couple of days, weeks, so that we can see what is blocking and the point of view that are behind. I will use the tools of access consciousness. I use them since several years, and I must say that the tools regarding money are very interesting because we cannot have money if we don't accept to be ourselves. It doesn't work. In fact, it's not a workbook to how to be with money, with investment, having revenue stream, etc. We need to recognize to receive money that we allow ourselves to have money, that we are the source, and that we can create all the possibilities. And everything that is, and everything that doesn't allow us to be, receive, perceive, and know that, will we destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pull, 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyond. That's the clearing statement from Access Consciousness. And in the email, you will receive a link with the explanation of this magical wand. And it's where the calls are very different because some of you might know the theory or even read the book, but things still didn't change. So here we're going to look at energetically where there are some points of view hidden. Even if you decided that you are willing to change, but still, how come it doesn't change? Because energetically, there are still some hidden stuff, and that's our job to look at it, and if possible, with amusement. Because checking out the money when you are too serious and talk just about money during 10 calls, it's ooh. So everything that doesn't allow you to have pleasure and amusement with money will destroy and uncreate it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pocket pull, 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. So if you've done a little bit of access, you know that the things that we pursue, look at it, are the points of view. Because all the judgment points of view will stop the energy, will solidify things. We will align and agree and telling us, yeah, that's exactly what we need to do, or judge negatively. We will resist and react. We will put up the barriers and hide behind and avoid stuff. But you see, even when I talk about it, when you say, yeah, it's exactly what I need to do, or no, at all, you see the energy that we are solidifying. And unfortunately, with money, we are always to have some judgments, even positive or negative. It's very rare to be in allowance with money. It's not really the vibration that occurs on this planet, since we are living here. So everything that doesn't avoid us to see the judgments where we are aligned and agreed, or react and resist, And we aren't in the allowance. Can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Times a gazillion. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, creations, spaces, and beyonds. And those judgments, what will they do? They will increase the polarity of the money so that we continue to give it very important. This thing very unstoppable and unreachable. So if we would be very allowance with money, I think we might have less headache with that. And it's also the thing that everyone talks about it. It's something that we identify ourselves, that gives us a consistency, that gives us an identity. And so if we wouldn't have the need to identify ourselves with money, everything that is, we will destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyonds. So every identity, personalities, definitions of you that you have of you with money, in relationship with money, with the money that you have, that you don't have, that your family had, that your family didn't have, that you can create, the one that you cannot create, the one that you lack, the one that you have too much, the one that you don't want to touch. Woo. And all the points of view that are stick behind, that are really sticked. Can we destroy and uncreate them? Times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyonds. And how many points of views of identification and personalities and definitions are not even yours and belong to the eyes of this society, from your father, your sister, your mother, from your teacher, from your employer, from your children, who else? And they use the money as a filter, as a sunglass, and they see you through the sunglass of money. For example, Sandrine is so with money, so she is like this with money. So all of those definitions, if they are good or bad, agreeable or not, that you reject or align, would you like to destroy and uncreate them, please? And send them back to the consciousness send them back to the source with consciousness attached? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyond. And if now you could actually see those judgments, to perceive them, and not to hold back on them. Just let them go. Just tell yourself, oh yeah, you think that just because I am a woman, I will never have that. You tell yourself, because you are 18, because at 18 you had experienced that, you can never have that. Because you drive a car, you cannot have that, or whatever. I will perceive, and I will not solidify it, not even important or significant. So if it would create bigger, I will use it if it's required. And everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyonds. Why wouldn't need to play with money instead of being a burden with money? And everything that is, times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyonds. So what are you avoiding? Is it money or is it the judgment of money? So everywhere you refuse money because you refuse to be judged, specifically in relationship with money, times a gazillion, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyonds. And during those 10 calls, my invitation is that you are vulnerable with yourself, and that you see when something comes up in regards to money, that you don't judge yourself, just to perceive it and tell yourself, oh, it's funny, I just booked my holidays in the other side of the world, and my bakery tells me that I have to pay 10 cents more, and it makes me, oh, very interesting. And if you aren't in the judgment of yourself, just in the question, you see? And if something comes up in regards with money, when you see that it's direction of your money, instead of saying, I'm still in the morality of my mom, just tell yourself, oh, it's very funny that I'm still there. What is coming up? What do I perceive? And everything that doesn't allow you to be in the allowance of yourself in relationship with money, will you destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, bases, creations, and beyonds. And if you don't judge yourself, you can start to access the awareness. And the awareness is to be present with everything, without react, without align yourself, with just perceive and say, oh, funny, what's happening here? And everything that doesn't allow you to be aware with yourself, as if you would be with everyone else. Will you destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, bases, creations, and beyonds. So during those 10 calls, if you could be aware and in the allowance with yourself, really, with gentleness, and as soon as you perceive a judgment coming up, just put down your barriers and ask yourself, oh, is that a judgment of someone else? What do I perceive? Is it any projections of others that they have of them, of you, and everything that is, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, bases, creations, and beyonds. This book, should you have it 1 time, 2 times, 100 times, it's still persistent, because the judgment with money is coming up quite regularly, because in this reality you really need to be aware in this space of awareness to see all the time when you attract points of view and do the magnetizement of all the points of view that you want to integrate in your life. And really often we don't realize that. And sometimes you just react and say, oh, I will never finish, I will always have point of view in my life with that. No, actually, it's like leisure or levels. Or actually, I could say, the less you would have points of view with money, the more you will have access to you. And the more you will have access to you, the more you will see the hidden points of view and the stuff that before blocked you. And also you will see all the programs and the automatic pilots that you used until now, and they are still here, even if you don't need them anymore. So you're gonna see on your highway through that story, oh, I have adopted that point of view. So to engage with money is also to engage with more of you, and just to see, okay, where are the places where I have still limitation, automatic pilots, judgments, and where do I put stuff even bigger than me, and everything that is, will we destroy it times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, bases, creations, and beyonds. So in Access we say, your point of view creates your reality. And what's actually crazy is that we created a book called How to Become Money Workbook, and we could actually have ants in our kitchen, and it's very annoying to have like ants that comes to the sugar and everything, but we didn't create a book in asking how to get rid of ants in the kitchen. So it's very interesting to see that the thing with money, it's so important that we have to create books with all the tools to clear all the things in relationship to money. And in contrary, when you have ants, well, you will naturally use like products or take off the sugar or whatever, but you will never put the ants bigger than you. It's not that a big problem. You didn't decide, there are some ants in my kitchen, I am less than, and I think that I don't merit anything in life, and creates something very big in your life. So how come we create actually money more important than ourselves? How come it takes so much space? Instead of just consider like anything else in our life, what is required? What's happening here? Like at the end, oh, okay, I need to open the windows or take off the sugar or clean the kitchen. Or maybe even poke and pot all the belief system we have on the end, but it will not put it in question mark ourselves. So everything that is, will we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverty, spaces, creations and beyonds. And what if the money is only a word? And starting now, when you think about money and you have like stress or anxiety or significance, just tell yourself, okay, if I would replace that word with, for example, ends, would I be in that state? And poke and pot, everything that's behind. So all the distractor implant that are behind, that we don't even want to see what's behind, and all the implants, explants, shake you, and everything I didn't tell you, will we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pull on 100 shorts, boys, poverty, spaces, creations, and beyond. And I would say it's as if we would use money as an implant, a distractor implant, but we will see money and people that tells us all the story about their ends, and they will talk about it during hours and how difficult it is in their life. But what happens really with those persons? Because we perceive it actually very well by others. It distracts them. It occupies them from something. It gives them a mission. You see, I have a big problem to solve. It's really important. It gives them an escape room to finally be angry about something that they don't allow themselves to be angry of. It could be a million stuff. And usually the real problem is not really that problem. So everywhere you use money to not see what's behind and having a reason for never be you, because we have this big money problem. Can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverty, spaces, creations, and beyonds. So starting from there, to be aware, just see, okay, do I use money to distract myself from something? Yes, no, what is true for me? If it's yes, to say, okay, what else is possible? What is required here? That I'm very present here with myself, and everything that doesn't allow you to be aware and conscious and to perceive with a total ease, will you destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverty, spaces, creations, and beyonds. And it's where, if you have a problem in your life, whatever it is, the more you focalize on that, the more it strengthens, more it will be important. You give it coherence or reality that will have repercussion even bigger. The more your point of view is that there is a problem, the more the problems exist and create your reality. So everything that you don't allow yourself to perceive, be, receive, and know, will you destroy with money? Will you destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverty, spaces, creations, and beyond. And when you understand that, you can see that all the financial situation that you have, as soon as you have a judgment on that, you will fix it. So it's really counterintuitive in this reality. It's as if you would say, okay, there's a problem, but don't worry about it. Okay, I have a money problem, but I need to stop judging it. And stop saying it's a problem. Or stop saying, oh, I need more money, I need that. It just be, okay, being in allowance, what would that look like? And everything that is, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations and beyonds. And that's what we will learn in this series. Instead of saying, oh, it's 40 years that I exist on this world and 40 years that I'm trying to solve that problem with money. Not being the effect of that, but just learn to be in the allowance. Being in the allowance, it's not to be aligned, but not agree, not resist, and not react. Everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, receive, be, and know, and be with money, in relationship with money, can we destroy and uncreate times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyonds. So Salama is asking, when we are targeting an objective, because we tell us you need to be focused, what is actually true in there? So I'm asking you, Salama, what is light? What is heavy in there? I don't hear you. I'm sorry. Oh, wait. Okay, now. Do you hear me? Yeah, good. So, it's true actually that, I did already a series with you to how to become a money workbook, and I had so many more clarity and consciousness. But if I say it here, it's because it's a conscious awareness that I have, and it's clarifying even today. And actually, I tell myself, I want to do that class or buy this car, and I put myself on pressure. And finally, I don't create more money. So, are you in allowance when you are focalizing on an objective? No. Okay. So, and the moment when you put on a charge on something, we are not in allowance. We are not in allowance in what everything can happen. That's a control. It's a judgment. We have decided that something needs to be done in this way, so we cannot receive all the other ways and how it can emerge. So everything that doesn't allow us to be, perceive, receive, and know what will create more, will we destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all right and 100, shorts, boys, poverts, babies, creations and beyonds. The moment where you focalize, you create it bigger as you. Because you are about to consider it as something that can escape you. So you are not in conscious, in being, in confidence with it, but in control with the money. So everything that is will you destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, poverts, bases, creations and beyonds. The element of the money is presence, trust, and 5 elements of intimacy that we will see in the other calls. Being in control. It's a little bit different than being in the control. For example, Gary mentioned, when I ride a horse, yes, I will control the horse, but from a space in being control, because I don't want to break my neck, I don't want to have an accident, and I will make sure that the horse will bring me from A to B and be aware if the horse would want to do something else. And I will be the source, the principal energy that will refuse if it's something happened differently than what I decided. Instead of being in control of your horse, I'm holding you now and you're going to right, to the wrong. It's not the same energy. Be control in versus having the control. Hey, horse, I need to go there. Bring me there in total security and then let it go. And being in control is I have decided exactly where we need to go, if we go on the left and then on the right, and if I hold you strongly, how you need to react, and I don't let you see if there is a hill next to it or if there's a danger over there. I control everything, and I refuse all the other possibilities. So everything that doesn't allow you to be control with money, which means, hey money, I need you because I have that project, I have that class, I would like to create that in my life, and I found it so funny. So now, universe, bring me the money, whatever, however it appears, and let it manage. I am trusting you. Trust that it comes. Trust that I'm being, receiving, perceiving, and knowing that it will come, and in the universe. Saying, okay, I did a demand, now I'll let it go. I don't need to control it and to be sure that it will happen. So everything that doesn't allow you to be, perceive, receive, and know will destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. And it's usually that point that sticks us. We often start to have perception questions, and at one moment we tell each other, oh, it doesn't come as fast as I thought. So truth, we would like to have it faster because we have really the need of, or just to prove ourselves that we are very powerful, and to prove ourselves that we can create. You see, we utilize the control to prove that we are in creation instead of just being, receiving, know, and perceiving. We want to have money just to validate all the power that we are. So, and what if we could be that and then just receive the money? Because the invitation will be so irresistible, and everything that doesn't allow you to be that, right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. So during the book reading, well, I jump from one side to the other. It's very funny for me. We're gonna ask some questions like, what is money? And the idea behind it is to let the answers come. And I want to say it's not really answers. It's just information, awareness, without any judgment, without having the reflection of the good answer or the answer that you could have learned in any other classes. Just let it come. What is money? It could be an object, a material, an energy, the dictionary's definition. Just let it come. Allow yourself to be in the flow and just perceive the energy, to breathe in, take your time just for you. It could be in a space where you feel comfortable, near a river or in a house where you're very calm, and just respond to those questions in putting down your barriers in total. And when something comes up, you can just poke and pot it. Everything that is, times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. And when you do that regularly, you can see all the points of view that will shift and being in the source of money. It allows you to see all the definition of the money that you have that sticks you in that state. So everywhere you cannot ask simple questions regarding money because there is a thing that is, oh no, because it's not secure enough. Can we destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion? Please, right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. And we're gonna clean up a little bit because when you will do the questions at home, it will be a bit more easy. More ease, more space. So, Everywhere where you think that there will be a good answer and that you look only for the good answer, can you destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, poverts, bases, creations, and beyond. And everywhere you use the basis of your parents or important persons of your reality. Can we destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, poverts, bases, creations, and beyonds. The basis of whom are you using to create your financial reality? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, poverts, bases, creations, and beyonds. The stories of whom are you using to create your financial reality? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, poverts, bases, creations, and beyonds. And how many cognitive dissonance, do you use to create your financial reality? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, poverts, bases, creations, and beyonds. So the basis and the story of whom are you using to define what is money? And never receive. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, poverts, beyonds, bases, creations, and beyonds. And all the cognitive dissonance that you have connected permanently with money and your reality, would you like to destroy, resound, renounce, denounce, destroyed and created times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, poverts, bases, creations, and beyonds. Wow. So the cognitive dissonance is when you have a point of view. For example, we have the point of view that we are an infinite being. We know it. It's actually very light when we perceive it. Yes, of course, I'm an infinite being. And at the same time, we have the point of view that we lack of money because I cannot pay all the classes that I would like or whatever. And you have that lack of money and stress about it. And you see, this is the dissonance cognitive, where you have A and B points of view that are functioning same time, but have the zero-sum game or are opposite or not coherent together. So that's a notion that's quite often used in psychology, but we're gonna look at the energetical part, because when you are in the cognitive coherence, we need to kill one of the points so that the other one can exist. And unfortunately, we usually don't kill I have the point of view of lack of money, but we will kill the other one. I'm an infinite being. And inside, there is something that bugs internally. I don't understand, because energetically it was so light to be an infinite being. So it creates something very with your body. So every now we have it. All the cognitive dissonance that we have that are connected permanently with money, your financial reality, your receiving, and everything what you perceive since so small of the financial reality, of the people around you, that you perceive the energical part, and then what they told you, and it was not in coherence with that, and not with what you knew, and everything that you perceived energetically. Would you revoke, recount, resound, denounce, renounce, destroy, and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, poverts, bases, creations, and beyonds. And what if now we can destroy and uncreate, or ask to be aware, be present, when you be aware of this twist of cognitive dissonance, when you get that there is something even though you use the tools, and also repeatedly. If one clearing would be enough for solving everything, would be magnificent. But the problem is that we are engaged and re-engaged to be less than what we really are. And we need a bit more than just a little clearing and check all the places where we fired ourselves to be the boss of our life. And everything that doesn't allow us to be, perceive, receive, and know that will be destroyed and uncreated times the gazillion. Right and wrong, good and bad, poor and part, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. The cognitive dissonance is very interesting because all the coherence of this reality and the incoherence of this reality that we buy and that are sold to us, because if we check just the energy, there is nothing coherent with that. Because if you're here, you just perceive it. But in this reality, we tell you, it's invisible, you must be foolish, there's nothing real about it. So already now there is an incongruence. So we are not cohesive. So everywhere you try to fit in that reality, will you destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. And when you have a lack of money, that's where it's so phenomenal. Even Bill Gates, energetically, even though he's very rich, he functions from lack, not from abundance and the prosperity or the possibilities, the infinite possibilities. So even though you are rich, you can still be on the vibration of lack and poverty. So we can validate this reality and this cohesion, that energetic coherence from this reality. Consistency of this reality. So everywhere you function from this reality to not receive and maintaining in place all the consistency of this reality. Can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations of it. It's not at all charged. So everywhere we maintain the... Okay, no, sorry. All the cognitive dissonance to maintain the consistency of this reality. Can we return it to sender with consciousness attached? Right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. Are there some questions? Are there something that comes up for you? Are okay? So if I ask you, what is money? You can write it in the chat or just perceive the energy. I have the impression that it's more a problem of receiving, said Natalie. Do you want to talk a bit more about it? Unmute yourself. Hello everyone. Do you hear me? Because I'm in a cafe, because I don't have internet. Yeah, you hear me. Okay. So in fact, I asked the universe to receive and to expand my ease with money, and I received in two different ways. And now that it's here, I see that I have hesitations to develop and to talk about it very simply and not being in the doing. And where I see that it blocks, stuck, it's the value of myself and the trust of myself that are still here. And each time that there's something happens, I put in question my value and I shrink, because it's really something exceptionally that can occur in this story. And also, I always functioned actually quite alone and not disturb others. And now I'm working to be together. So I have a problem with receiving and a problem with sharing this movement, this flow. Okay, nice. Okay, all this times a gazillion. Can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyonds. And who has a problem to receive? Is it you? Or is it the validation of a reality of someone else? It's a bit heavy. Okay. Everything that is, right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyonds. Okay, I'm starting with different steps. And without putting in some words, but the reality of whom is validated when you use money to receive a value of yourself. There is something there. When you use money to value yourself. And everything times a gazillion, and everything that is times a gazillion. Will you destroy and uncreate it? Yeah, it's very heavy. Yeah, it's very heavy. But if I ask my brain, there is no brain anymore. Okay, so we are at a good point. A good place. So all the cognitive dissonance being fried is also a good starting point. So all the cognitive dissonance that remains that in place, that avoids you to see and to sparkle where is the good place to be and where you perceive the limitation, where you feel like heavy and stop you to go further. So all of this, can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyonds. And so, can you resend it to the source, all the stories, all the bases, all the lies that maintain that? The story with value, to tell you, if I don't have money, I don't have the value. And to start having success, even though I had already, but I didn't start because I didn't have the success, because I don't have value. So everything that is, and Natalie, you're the only one that works for you like that, of course. So can we destroy and uncreate times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyonds. So what would it take to receive, perceive, be, and know the present, the gift that you are right now? And that value regarding in relationship to money is the biggest lie that we bought. And already this. Right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyond. And all the cognitive dissonance that we use, and also the point of view that the riches are assholes. And in one point, we want to be rich, but not be that kind of rich. So if we don't have the merit to be rich, so we don't have the value, and you see it's so fried with the energy. So can we destroy and uncreate all the cognitive dissonance? Right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyonds. And all the structure of autonomy that you use to maintain you on your island, so that the other never see your gift, because you're afraid to receive judgments of others. Everything that is, times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverts, spaces, creations, and beyond. Ladies, there is something here. Can you write it down on your mirror in your bathroom every day? Fuck it, I am a gift. I don't know how you say it in Spanish, but that's the way you say it in French and English. You are a gift. You are a gift in every choice you do. Even though you breathe, you are a gift. Because you create a possibility in this world that is so different in this world that never existed before. You are a gift because you smile. And you know, when you don't smile, you still are a gift. You are a gift. And all the cognitive dissonance that maintains you and connects you in your brain that it's a lie because unfortunately never ever told you that, and you integrated that in your cells, can we destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, pug and pod, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations and beyond. Sorry, there's some charge in behind, but I want that you hear it. And truth. Is there one lady here that thinks that she's never, ever, ever a gift? That she never has been a gift and she never will be a gift? Truth? No. So what would it take so that you can perceive, receive, know, be, in each time you don't think you are a gift, everywhere you aren't you, and that doesn't belong to you, that you know, right and wrong, good and bad, pug and pod, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, bases, creations and beyond. Because at the moment you recognize that you are a gift, you permit yourself to create and to create out in the world. And you allow the world to receive your creations, and the world will receive it like it's what wants to receive it. Someone will receive it to receive money, and the other will receive it without knowing, and just let them. But you know it's a gift. And if your greatest contribution, here we go. And if your greatest contribution could be to be judged by others, and what if that would be the greatest gift you could be to others? And what if I tell you you need to be judged like a megaton, but it will save the planet? Would you accept to do this? Oh, I have the impression I do that already. Oh, great. Everything that is right and wrong, good and bad, pug and pod, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations and beyonds. So, and now, what if you just fuck it and increase the volume with the judgment? There's nothing to save, she said. And what if you could remain as powerful as you are and never ever align and agree? That's actually what you do when you diminish yourself. You say the other are right, and yes, it's true. I'm starting to change their reality, but I'm so small and it must not be as easy for them, and they are like poor little things. Okay, I need to be a bit less powerful. So that's where you align and agree yourself. Or you can also resist and react and say, oh, they are just like foolish people, and you know what? And then fuck it, everything, and then you pull up your barriers and return to your island. And come back to that place where you tell yourself, oh, I would love to be in another position, and I would love to be a contribution. And I would love to be like just fuck you all and not be annoyed. But we never ever actualize it. And what let that remain, that's our barriers. The judgments. So now, what if we could receive their judgments with ease, joy, and glory, and money? Everything that doesn't allow us that, right and wrong, good and bad, pug and pod, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyond. What happens when you transform the judgment into money? That's exactly what Gary said. For every judgment, you receive $10,000 more per year. Because Do you remember what I said in the beginning? When you focus on something, you make it more real, okay? And what if you could tell them, thank you for your judgment, because your energy is more real in this world? And what if being judged, megaton-wise, it allows you to be more visible and have even more energical substances in what you would like to be. And what if we could use that reality in our advantage? And it's that is receive judgment. So we need to be ready for receiving money, to be ready to receive judgments. So everything that is times a quotidian can be destroyed and uncreated, and everything that doesn't allow you to be, receive, perceive, and know that, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. So, which algorithmic switch can you be to be your magic, your power, your gift? Could you? Sorry, Marion. It will come. The word would come. And could you actualize, receive, choose, reclaim, assume, develop from now on in your life with a total ease? And everything that doesn't allow you that, times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. And a lot of people say there is no bad publicity as long as they talk about me, I exist. And what if we could perceive money in that case? Just to exist even more. So, again, we are not looking for validating others in our way of managing money. Just, oh wow, people are talking about me. Am I so important? Wow, you talked about me with the other girls during 1 hour. Oh, I'm so pleased. And the minor criticism or the little things against you, what if actually you could nourish yourself about it and say, wow, I'm so powerful, important. So everything that doesn't allow you to be, perceive, receive, and know that, and allow yourself not to put up your barriers and cut yourself from that, and pull them down and tell them, come, even more, it will make me rich. Come and tell me what I'm doing is like shit, and what I'm looking like, and whatever I choose in my reality, I love it. Everything that doesn't allow you to be, receive, perceive that, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. So, I have a little game for you. For the next session, would you allow to play with it? To play with, thank you for your judgment. And you can do it in distance, you don't need to do it in the eyes of the person. But when you perceive a judgment, whoever it is, shall it be in social media or whatever it makes you, to receive it and just like pause and say, what if I could receive that? If I could say, oh, thank you. Actually, you're telling me I'm so powerful? Cool. That's your play game for next time. Even if it's just one judgment. And please recognize how much the judgment is talking actually from the person it gives. If I judge someone for his haircut, it's actually because I judge my haircut. If I judge someone for what she or he is doing, it's because I'm judging myself what I'm doing. So I cannot judge something that I've never done before. So they actually talk about themselves, and plus they give me energy. So nice. And it gives me information about them, about from where they function and how I can play with their judgment, maybe to receive more conscious. and everything that doesn't allow us to be, receive, perceive, and know the gift of judgment of the others? Can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverty, spaces, creations, and beyonds. And also, what if you could be in allowance with the word judgment? I started actually with the call like this, we chase the judgment. But what if the judgment doesn't need to be right or wrong? It's just an information. They judge me? Okay, thank you. I will learn everything about it regarding you, regarding me, because I receive it. I don't react. And if there's something where I react, it means, oh, there is also some energy blocking here. I can work on that. So cool, thank you. Really, it's just an information. So everything that doesn't allow us to be, receive, perceive, and know that, can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverty, spaces, creations, and beyonds. So you see how we can use the pretext of money to stop us. So it can be that we have some projects that we ask the universe will bring it to us, but then we will questioning our value, questioning our receiving potentiality and our interaction with the others. The money is actually just a pretense. In reality, the real game behind is to check on us, to see what are we capable to receive, why are we acting like this, what would we like to actualize, what do we like to block here, and to stick on that. So everything that doesn't allow us to be, perceive, receive, and know that to see that we are the source of everything, including our financial situation. Can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverty, spaces, creations, and beyond. And everywhere we bar that it will be difficult, complicated, long, uncomfortable, painful to change our financial reality because it's from far, far away. Can we destroy and uncreate it, please? In totality, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverty, spaces, creations, and beyond. And the reality of whom do we validate with those points of view? And everywhere you validate the reality of others and never have yours. Can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all right, 100 shorts, boys, poverty, PAs, beyond. And all the cognitive dissonance in this reality, so that you're maintaining and validating the reality of others and never have your our own reality, financial reality with ease, joy and glory. Can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverty, spaces, and beyond. And to finish, can you remind yourself? It could be when you were very small, and could be a very small thing as well, and could be very recently a moment where you have been with ease with money. It could also be just to look for your son, Marion, for example, that finds money each time. Can you remember in this lifetime or another lifetime from a moment, a period, a moment, a space where it has been ease to receive money? As ease as demand and receive. Okay, so put down your barriers and your point of view. I hear some talking and saying, yeah, but it's not as easy as that. It's not to find 5 cents per week that I will, that I can be rich. Can we destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poverty, spaces, creations, and beyonds. So just perceive it energetically, the space, what you have been, or where you just have asked for money and money, poof, arrives, and universe was so happy that you existed, that your demand existed, that it gifted to you. Yes, that space. Can you actualize that? Recognize that? That you are that? And that's ease. It's not difficult. What's difficult is to maintain your points of view, your barriers, what's very important. That's how we kill each other. So can you go back to this space of greatness, of joy, of ease with money that everyone here experienced in this lifetime, even though you won't recognize it, or in another. Everything that is, right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, bases, creations, and beyonds. How would it look like if you could actually create from this space, right now? That at least when the stress of money comes back, you can open up and say, okay, wait, stop. How was it when I was small and before I bought all those points of views with money? That space. Ask the universe to show you and connect yourself to the psychic capacities with universe. And everything that doesn't allow you that, right and wrong, good and bad, poke and pot, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, bases, creations, and beyonds. Wow. How is it for everyone here? Yes? All okay? Cool. This series promises to be very foolish. Cool. So that was the first call, free call. We have been 25 for this call. And there will be a lot of listening on replay, so I say it here again. If you already followed the How to Become Money workbook with me, it's half price for the second series. And if you never ever did the How to Become Money workbook with me, you can subscribe. Now the first call is Thursday, and you can choose it before the fourth class, before I close the subscription tool. And the first 10, there are still some places, receive 25 euros less on the series. So if you would like to play and be more of you and discover what is it to be without stress with money and create another reality, so then choose. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything that you are, the gift that you are, and continue to change the world, to spread out, expand, and thank you so much for now. Bye bye.